As-salaam wa-alaikum, brothers and sisters. Welcome to Year 3 of the 17 Verses podcast. I'm your host, Maher Haq. In this podcast, we take a small selection from the Quran every day and recite it to you in plain English, so you can get a small slice of God's Word while you go about your day. By averaging 17 verses per day, we're able to break the Quran down into manageable pieces and finish it in 1 year. If you enjoyed the podcast, please help spread the word. Tell your friends and family, subscribe in iTunes or Stitcher, and write us a review. Today's selection is from Surah 70, ãrij, or the Ways of Ascent, verses 19 through 35. These verses describe the characteristics of the practicing believers as opposed to those who are impatient and lose hope easily. Tafseer for this selection concerns the true nature of charity discussed in verse 25. Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. Indeed, man has been created impatient. When evil befalls him, he becomes despondent. But when blessed with good fortune, he becomes stingy, with the exception of those who offer prayers, remain steadfast in their prayers, set aside a due share in their wealth for the beggars and the deprived, accept the truth of the day of judgment, dread the punishment of their Lord, for none is secure from the punishment of their Lord, and guide their private parts except from their wives and those whom their right hands possess, for in their case they are not blameworthy. As for those who seek to go beyond this, they are transgressors. Those who keep their trusts and honor their promises, who stand firm in their testimonies and strictly guard their prayers, it is they who shall live with honor in paradise. Amin. Now, concerning the true nature of charity discussed in verse 25. Quote, True charity consists in finding out those in real need, whether they ask or not. Most frequently those who ask are idle men, who insolently wish to live upon others. But all cases of those who ask should be duly investigated, in case a little timely help may set the erring on the way. But the man with wealth or talent or opportunity has the further responsibility of searching out those in need of his assistance, in order to show that he holds all gifts in trust for the service of his fellow creatures. Unquote. Thank you. This concludes today's episode of the 17 Verses podcast. I hope that this selection helps increase your understanding of the Holy Quran just a little bit. If you like the podcast, you can subscribe in iTunes or Stitcher and write us a review. Or you can grab the RSS feed and put it into your own podcast app. The show notes, including a text version of this episode, can be found by going to 17verses.com. That's the numbers 17, VERSES.com. Thank you, and be well.